Oh,
I
no,
didn't
no,
laugh
no.
as hard. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm petty.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Gift of Gab. This is Ashley.
And I'm Charlie.
And today we're going to talk about our favorite, well, my favorite topic. I don't know if it's yours, Charlie.
It's up there.
Okay.
Maybe top 5.
All right, cool. So we're going to talk about sex, and I'm very excited.
Yes,
Sex.
a lot of different things. Just sex topics. Like
Sex.
different things. Everything sex.
Everything sex. So we're going to, jump on, no pun intended.
I appreciated that.
Okay, good. We're gonna hop on a couple of topics and we're gonna talk about it.
Where do you want to start?
I guess we'll start about with I guess the beginning of sex for most people. I guess with virginity, as far as I guess the standard or the expectations of losing your virginity. I know with society, as far as like women, they make us feel like it's supposed to be this very super, and it should be, I feel like maybe sometimes the super romantic, you're in this king size bed out of nowhere, there's candles everywhere and rose petals, and that it should be super super special and with someone you love, and it should be like that. And I feel like, I don't know, for about like 80% of women, that's not how it goes at all.
Even for me.
Yeah.
Like,
It doesn't go like that.
No.
Reality is like, my reality was I lost, quote unquote, my virginity. Sorry, parents, if you hear this, I'm so sorry. But but in my mom's basement, it was a full basement. It wasn't just like a regular basement. But anyways, but it was very not what I expected, I guess.
Right.
And it wasn't a typical thing. Like, I don't know if you know. Well, you probably heard some girls, they have like pain during it.
Right.
I have none of that. We just tried it out, and
was it like good, or it was just like what
it was just different.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just different because it was a new experience. But as far as like pains or anything like that, like I spoke to my sister about it, and her experience was totally different. She said it was like painful the whole time, and she, but I didn't have that experience at all. So I was just like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about,
Right. Yeah.
So so I think many different people have many different experiences, and
Are you comfortable like sharing the age?
yeah, I was 17.
Okay.
I was old.
I feel like that's like
Yeah,
a good age.
Yeah, I don't think it was too young or anything like that. I was almost 18.
Right.
So yeah, it was my partner was 17 at the time too. We were the same age. It wasn't like, super old or anything like that. And yeah, I was ready, I guess. I did it. I was ready. It was definitely consensual and everything like that. I didn't feel super pressured or anything like that. It's something that I wanted to do and the choice that I made at that time. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, mine was very similar. It was a very, like, I even remember the date. Like, I guess I won't give the
wow.
exact date, but like, not that just because I remember dates.
Okay. I was gonna say, am I a terrible person? Because I do not.
No, it like happened like within it was in February, so like it's like Valentine's Day. It wasn't on Valentine's Day. But,
Okay.
I was 19. I waited like a little bit longer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was so I was, or no, 18. Sorry, I was 18. I wasn't 19. I was turning 19 later in the year.
Oh, got it.
I was 18, and it was like I remember it was gray out. Like it was like one of those like wintry days where it's just gray and bland and gross, and like it was just kind of, I don't know, not symbolic of like the sex, but like it was just very like, I don't know how to explain it, just not like eventful, I guess. Like it was just kind of what it was. And I remember like it was really weird. It was like the door was open in the room that we were in, and like it was very weird. I don't know. Like it's strange. And we didn't know what we were doing. We both lost our virginity at the same time, and I think that's like another factor of like sometimes there's like a almost not even power dynamic, but like if someone has lost their virginity and like not taking someone's virginity, I kind of hate that term, and I can't believe I just used it, but
No, you're good.
There's like a different dynamic there, but we were both like virgins and we did it and lost it, and I don't know. I don't even know that like I'm not even religious, so like I don't know why like that moment was monumental for me, but I guess I get it, but I also not religious, so like was virginity ever like a thing for me? I don't know.
Yeah, it was a new experience, so it was the first experience,
Exactly.
so that's probably why it was so monumental. The partner that I was with at the time, they had sex before, so there was that little dynamic of, I mean, they already kind of like knew the ropes.
Did you feel like that pressured you into like having to do it?
Not really.
Oh, that's good.
No.
Then. That's really good.
Yeah. He just liked me, and I was happy that he liked me, and I liked him, and that's just kind of what it was. It was really simple. It kind of, I mean, I don't regret it, but at the same time, I guess sometimes people regret the partner that they may have had it with. I remember, I'm sorry, this is kind of like off topic, but because of his like experiences with other people, he had, I'm assuming people that had like, you know, sorry to have TMI, but like have bleeding or pain during that time. So because I didn't have any of those things, he kind of questioned if I even was a virgin or not. So
that's weird.
It was
that's
really
like a
weird.
really weird thing to ask somebody.
Yeah, it was like, well, he kind of told me like, you know, this isn't your first time, like that. He kind of told me.
That's weird.
Yeah, like after
almost manipulative.
Manipulative. It was like, what? Like, why would you say something like that? Like, why would you lie about that? I guess people do. I don't know, but
Is that like a fetish?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Probably is.
Yeah,
but like that's fucking strange to like come at someone like that.
Yeah, to come at somebody like that. So fuck you for that.
Right.
But yeah, just because, and I was like, have you never took sex education? Like, you know, things don't happen the same way for every single person.
Everyone's bodies are different.
Completely different. So yeah, but that was a weird thing. And I
and
just wanted to throw that in there because everything's not the same. You know,
it's not. And I mean, just kind of piggybacking off that, like I don't regret mine. Like I don't regret anything about mine. I was in love at the time, and it was what it was. And I don't know. I definitely opened the door, and you know, to exploring myself as an adult, and like kind of moving on. And I don't know. It was like kind of like you said. For me, it wasn't like super eventful, but it was like a milestone, I guess, is the best way to put it. So yeah, and then I mean, so after losing virginity, I think not everyone experiences this, and not everyone engages in this, because people are, you know, we talked last time about like people being asexual and like not really needing sex or wanting sex, or but going into like hookup culture, and that kind of thing. I think that's a big thing for millennials, and I'm sure it has been for many generations. But now with like we have like these dedicated apps and like on phones and everything, so like based on technology that you can kind of reach people in different areas and very quickly, and that are looking for the same thing. And there's a lot of the guesswork is done, I think. Yeah. Especially with like the use of like Grindr or like even Tinder. I'd never like hooked up with anyone off of Tinder or anything.
I haven't either. But people do. Yeah.
People do. And like I said, there's an app for really anything, and you can find these people, and you can find what you're looking for usually.
Yeah, you can. So.
Yeah, but that I don't know. I think there's just a complete. Also, just kind of taking it a step further, there's like a complete double standard around
hooking up.
Yeah, in hookup culture. I don't know if you've experienced it at all, or
I don't know if I've experienced it personally, but I know in general, like women hooking up casually is deemed as something, you know, terrible, or is something that we shouldn't be doing. Because, you know, women should be either saving themselves or waiting for one person, or, you know, we're these monogamous beings and we don't, you know, want to have sex with multiple people. That's, you know, the double standard or something, or that we shouldn't have sex with other people. But, you know, in reality, like there are many women that have casual sex and that are okay with that and don't always tie emotions to it. So, so I don't know. I don't know if I've done a casual hookup before. It was casual.
Yeah, definitely. Those like I don't know. A lot of like, at least in like the man with man hookups that I've had, like it's very like no strings attached is what it's called, or I don't know. That's a term I've seen thrown around, and like it's very casual, and it's very like, as sad as it is, and I'm sorry parents if you're listening to this, but like
Yeah.
I don't know any of their names, and like I could not tell you a single thing about them, and like that's it at the same time for me, like when I was doing it, it was liberating, but it's also kind of scary looking
Yeah.
back on it. And I've been reflecting on it, especially like with a lot of like the new, like I've been writing a lot more. I've been making more music again, and like in those things, I'm just now to the point where I can like talk about those things.
Yeah.
And I've been writing about it. I have this like little song that I wrote, and I wrote it, and it talks about like this time that like a guy wanted me to walk through a dark alley. I remember it was in Detroit. We were going through a dark alley, and I'm like, I'm not going to walk up this dark alley, and like I don't know you. I've never talked to you. Like,
yeah.
And it was,
You guys were just kind of supposed to be hooking up, right?
yeah, and like I said, I had not met him, and that's kind of scary to think about. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't tell anyone where I was too, so because this was still like a hidden part. Yeah. Why would I? Why would I do the same thing?
Yeah, exactly. I know. You're my best friend. I know. I did the same thing.
And I don't know. It's like I said, it's liberating, but it's scary. But I don't know. Like, but I never felt like shamed about it. Like when I started coming out and telling people, like it was never like, oh, you're a slut or you're whatever like term they want to use, because like again, there's that double standard of like man, and like if a woman were to do it, it's super casual. Like pretty recently I heard someone say something like, oh, I want to find me a girlfriend, but like I don't want her to be a slut. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't want her to be a slut? Like, it's not, women can have sex with whoever she wants, and I mean, if she's dating you and you guys have it set up to where you're both monogamous, then like, would she be being a slut if you trust her? Like, you know,
exactly.
what I'm saying? And there's so many different pieces to it, and it's just like a misogynistic term that people use to keep women down and keep. I don't know. It's just a very strange phenomenon.
Yeah,
to see.
Yeah. And I think something's kind of small to touch on, like Amber Rose, how she did the slut walk to kind of like empower women and try to change that term a little bit. It has a cool concept behind it. So things like that, because we do get called sluts, whores, and, you know, all that type of stuff. But it's like men do the same thing.
Literally the same thing. Like, there's two people that are having sex, like, or more. I mean, depending on what you're doing. Hey, but there's two people lying down. It's not just one person. And like that, like how does it ever make sense to anyone that that's okay? Yeah. And like, I like that you brought up like kind of re-owning the term slut, or like owning the term slut, because like, fuck that. Like, we're allowed to have sex. Like you mentioned, we're all sexual beings. We're all people who not necessarily need to enjoy sex, but like the people who enjoy sex, we enjoy it, and like we want to do it. And whether, you know, if you're doing it with your partner or you're doing it with people out there, as long as you're being safe and you're getting consent, and I don't see what's wrong with that. I don't see how that's an issue. I guess it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, me neither. So I do feel like, of course, slut shaming, of course, is a big issue that we have. So it's something that definitely needs to be worked on in society, because, you know, women want to have sex too, just like men do. Right.
And with that said, in terms of like doing the work, like the things that we need to be so like obviously like slut walks are awesome, and like I said, in terms of re-owning, and like you said earlier, but especially if you're in a privileged position, if you're a straight white cis male and you hear that shit, don't let it go. Like don't just let it slide. Like, call it out.
A lot of people a lot of men, even women, let it slide. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, women, obviously, like, if you have the ability to call someone out, you should. Obviously, there are like harder circumstances than others, but really you have to negotiate of like what is for the better in any given situation. So like, even I experience it in terms of like hearing other people talk about it, and I've been slowly getting better at calling people out for that thing, because there's no reason you should be taking shots at women for when men are doing the same exact thing and getting passes for it. Exactly. There's literally no reason, and it's I don't know. Bugs me to the core, I guess. Say grinds your gears. Yeah, exactly. I see it in you. So. Yeah. So kind of on the topic of hooking up, and I know we're both comfortable talking about this. I don't know why I had to pause like that, but sometimes I like it will bring something up, and I'm like, wait, is Ashley comfortable with this? But we talked about it, but whatever. Either way, we're good. We have both had sexual experiences with both men and women. Do you find that there's like a difference, whether it's in like the overall vibe or just like the specific sex, or like any like, is there like I wouldn't even say is there a better than other, because that's creating like a hierarchy, but is there
Yeah.
one you prefer, or is there like a vibe that is like they're so different? Like,
Yeah. I haven't had sex with many women.
that's okay.
Um, but I don't know if I love it.
But like, is there anything you can identify that's like different, or that's like maybe that
I
you
was
would prefer?
I would say the sensuality, I guess, of it,
Is what you like or don't
is
like?
what I like.
Okay.
You know, taking their time, paying attention to foreplay, paying attention to things that I don't like, and what I do like. I do feel like women do that. They pay attention, and they kind of know, I guess, what other women like, but also, you know, if they don't like the same things, they're able to, I feel like, pay attention to body language more
And accommodate it more.
and accommodate it. Yes, exactly. As opposed to, like, I've had experiences with men where they're like just touching things in ways that's too much or something, and you're just like, okay, this doesn't feel good. It's too much. It's pressure, and they don't understand that. You know.
Right, and so I think there's a line of like just not knowing. Like obviously, like especially when you're first starting out with sex, there's a lot of things you don't know.
Yeah.
But like it falls within like whether you're willing to learn or not. Like whether you're willing to like try something different and like make things feel better or make things feel like a little bit, you know, in a different way. And I think that there's like
I've had a guy tell me like just straight up like, yeah, I'm not into all that, and I was like, what, like making sure I have an orgasm? Is that
right, making sure that I'm being pleasured like you are?
Too? Yeah, I've had a guy say that. And I was just like, oh, okay, so we're not doing this ever again.
Right,
like,
yeah. You know. I'm glad you recognize that.
Yeah, so, yeah, I've had that before, so.
Ew, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. I was like, what?
I don't mean to laugh, but
yeah,
like I'm kind of baffled.
Like it was just more like a type of like, well, I got my situation, I got mine, and I'm satisfied. It was like that, and I was just like, ooh.
What the hell? Yeah. So I mean, I being bisexual, I both, you know, I've had experiences with men and women, and I think that for me it's so different. I really can't even like.
Really?
I don't know. Like I think kind of like you hit on like, so with men, it's like men. Like you said, women like know more of what women want, or I don't know how you phrased it, but like kind of the same thing for like me with men. Like there's like a understanding of like, okay, what feels good, what doesn't, how should you approach it?
Right.
With women, it was definitely different. Again, just kind of like
it's a different body.
Yeah, different body. You don't really know what, you know, like we talk about what feels good and what doesn't.
Right.
But then, not to get like too graphic, but like there's a difference between like vaginal sex and like anal, and like. To be honest, I've never done anal with a woman. For me personally, it's like a different
aspect. You don't need.
Yeah, there's a different. It doesn't even like turn me on to like think about it.
Oh,
which is strange because like with a man, that's the only way you can have like penetrational sex. So it's like different for me. I don't know, but I think like I said earlier, I don't necessarily think one's better than the other for me.
Right.
I know that my attraction to men, like physically, is stronger, and I think, I guess even emotionally, but that I don't think that necessarily means the sex is better. Maybe it's better subjectively for me.
Yeah.
Because I physically I like the way men look more, but I don't know. I don't think that one procedurally is better or like feels better. It feels kind of the same, and I don't know, just a different dynamic.
Just a different dynamic. I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if I can say this if you don't remember.
Just say it.
Okay, I was going to say, cut it out if you don't want it in there. But I remember when we were kind of first talking about anal sex, and you had asked me if I'd done it before. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Yeah, you asked me if I had did it before, and I was like, yeah, like I've done it before, and you know, this isn't that, and you were like, well, what did you do? And I'm like, oh, well, I got drunk, like I did that.
I do remember this.
I was like, but also I use analies, and you were like, well, what's that?
Oh my God, I do.
Let me tell you about this amazing thing. Like it's this numbing gel that you put on there, and like so yeah, I remember that conversation, and I was like, I wonder if he remembers that. So
I do because I bought some afterwards. That's why I remember it. Yeah, it was a strange time. I mean, there's a lot you have to learn about that. Like it's a different ball game. It's a completely different ball game, and especially when you're ready to take that step to let somebody into your space, and like it's a different thing, and you have to be safe, and you have to be careful, and you have to really research, and
you got to be comfortable with that person.
Comfortable and take your time. Don't rush things. Like
because I feel like as far as cis men that I've dealt with, they kind of I mean, they know it's going to be different, but they don't know it's going to be different. So they kind of approach it the same way.
Right.
And I'm
You
like,
can't
wait,
just
hold on. You got to, you got to light some, you do have to light candles for this. And
I need aromatherapy. I need some
Yeah.
essential oils.
I might need a back rub to
Right,
start.
exactly. Give me a massage. Like, let's take a bath before.
Yeah,
like,
I need to be relaxed. Yeah,
like,
definitely.
fully relaxed. Like, I need to meditate.
Yeah,
like,
I gotta think about it for a second. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta get my mind right. It's a different headspace.
Right. And it's completely different. So please, like, if you're going to do that, like, make sure you research it and you
Make sure
kind
you're
of,
comfortable with your
you
partner.
explore it a little bit by yourself before. That was something that worked for me.
Really?
At least. Yeah. I don't know if you did that or
No,
not.
I just went
No,
head first.
no. Oh, you're brave. It's definitely for me. And I'm glad I had a patient partner.
Good.
And yeah, it was very, yeah.
Yeah.
But that kind of brings us to like another thing, especially like after you kind of lose your virginity and things kind of, I guess not even escalate, but like you start exploring different things. Is the importance of foreplay.
Oh yeah.
Like
I said, how that guy didn't even care really about foreplay or
Right.
any pleasure towards me or anything like that. I think it's so important. And like I always describe it, I remember it was some album that described it actually. But like, I'm like a motor in the winter. Like you got to warm me up to get me going. You can't just, we're not just starting.
Right.
We're not doing that. You got to take your time and pay attention to me. And I feel like if you paid attention to me, that makes me even more in the mood. Because you can tell when your partner's not really in tune with you and not trying to be either.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that, honestly, like, as I get older, I kind of like the foreplay more than, like...
The actual act.
Yeah, I don't know. There's... I don't know. This is, again, just my experience. I just feel like there's more connection. There's more, like... almost consideration during it. It's like it's really more aimed at pleasure, I feel like.
Yeah.
If you're taking your time and you're not just rushing through it, like it's I don't know. I like it more.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, I do. I like the beginning stages, of course, first. I don't know if I like it more than the actual act. I don't know. I have to pay attention to that now because I'm like, I might like it more. I don't know.
Right.
But I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
So for some people that don't think it's necessary.
Like sex shouldn't be just something you go in. All right, we're gonna go in. We're gonna spend 15 minutes, and we're gonna do this, and then you're gonna react this way. Like it's not a calculated thing. And like sometimes I feel like that's how sex can be with like at least in different experiences I've had. Like it's just like it's like a 5-step process, and you do all 5 steps, and it's done. It's like but foreplay, you kind of I don't know, you kind of take your time, and I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just my experience with it.
I feel like you should take your time with this. So yeah, no, I get that definitely.
I don't know. I think that so something kind of backtracking a little bit and going back to double standards a little bit and thinking about like the double standards of like just watching porn, like even just taking like the act of sex out of it, but like the act of like watching porn. Like, do you feel like there's a stigma around that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like for some reason there's a stigma that women don't watch porn.
And that's a goddamn lie.
Maybe not even as much as men. I don't know if we watch it as much, but I know I watch it a lot. I mean, I do. Like, I don't. And so, like, I remember, like, I was talking to a group of guys, maybe a couple of years ago.
I thought you said Uber guys.
Oh, no, a group of guys. You're like, what?
Well,
Okay. Yeah, no, a group of guys, and they were just talking about their, favorite porn star. And I was like, oh, well, mine is such and such and such. And they were like, kind of just looked at me, and I'm like, yeah, I watch porn. Yeah, I do.
Like, why is this weird?
Yeah,
like,
I
we're
don't
all
know.
humans, and like
we have sexual needs, and every time I was single, okay, and even if I'm not single, I like to.
Yeah,
I like to watch it.
That's another issue. Like, not even an issue, but like I guess something to talk about with your partner. Like, are we okay with each other watching porn? Like, I've never been in a
watch it together, or you know, things like that.
Yeah, I've personally never been in a relationship where that was like a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it. I don't know. I feel like as long as you're not neglecting the needs of your partner and like just relying on porn, like if that's what works for you, I guess. But I don't know. I think that
I definitely don't think there's anything wrong with it, even in a relationship.
No, exactly. Like I think as long as you guys are on the same page about it, and I don't know, not lying to each other about it. I think it needs to be open because it's there and it's definitely prominent in at least our generation and our culture with the emergence of the internet and everything being so accessible. Like you can Google porn and you will find it 100%. Like
exactly. Yeah.
So,
it's not hard to find at all.
No, it's not hard to find. And I think you brought up a good point of like a lot of partners like watch it together too.
Yeah. I have, but I don't know if we were even 100% comfortable with each other in doing it, but we just kind of like did it. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I think there's a weird, at least for me, like, because this was, I mean, I don't know. I had to get over my own insecurities of like,
yes.
do they find this person more attractive than me? Like, what's wrong with
Oh,
me? Like,
okay.
that was my battle with it at least. And like, and then like being that open, because there's a level of openness.
You have to be
of, like,
open to do
this
that.
is like what I watch, and like this is what I'm into on a very deep level, and like, you I don't know if you're comfortable with that, that's awesome.
Yeah. I for some reason like at one point in a relationship that I was in, I would like feel shame about it,
Yeah.
kind of like. So like I would be like, you know, doing my thing, and like if they came home or something like that, it was like, oh, let me stop or something like that. And they were like, well, you don't have to stop. Like, I made it seem in my mind like it was like I got caught watching, you know,
Oh,
porn or
yeah, I've
something
been
like
there.
that. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, well, you don't have to stop. Like, that's not a big deal. Like, I'm not scolding you or something if you come in and
Right.
like watching porn or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that was something within me that I just had to be like, okay, that's cool. And they're okay with it, or that
Right.
get caught type feeling had to go away.
No, exactly. And
Yeah.
I feel like maybe because we are conditioned, I mean, as like
That
at
it's
younger, that
dirty
it's
and wrong.
bad.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like, it's really not. It's
No.
really like, I mean, it just is what it is. It's porn, and like we've all seen it, we've all watched it, and like,
Yeah.
why should it be dirty? I mean, I've heard a lot about like porn addictions and that kind of thing, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I don't know how true that is or not. I mean, what either way, like I don't know that if you're doing it in a healthy way and you're just using it to like pleasure yourself and that kind of thing, like why is it a big deal?
Right.
So kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
Weird, I don't know. I guess I don't know. So like another, I guess like, I don't know, just topic or like issue even within sex is like when people are like sex workers and like the different like, I don't even connotations that comes with, and the different like perspectives that comes with, because I feel like a lot of people shame sex workers and like even people who may have like hired a sex worker and like engaged in sex with a sex worker, like
they're shamed for that.
yeah. And like, why as a society do we allow that, and why do we not allow for these people to be seen as legitimate people, people because there's a term that people use, and I'll say it once, but I think it's also a slur, is prostitute. And I feel like that creates, again, comes with its own connotation and creates like a level of like almost like dirtiness with that occupation. And this person is just trying to survive, and this person is just doing something that
making a living. Yeah.
Right. And I don't know that every person that is a sex worker loves it or enjoys it. But if they do, then let them do what they want to do.
Exactly.
Again, they're not harming anyone.
If they're consensually, you know, doing it and working for it, you know, working. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know why there's such an issue around that, especially when it's such like a known, and I wouldn't even call it underground thing, but it's such a widespread thing that people engage in and almost try to cover up. Like why is that?
Why? Yeah. Exactly.
There shouldn't be shame in that.
There shouldn't be. Even like with I guess as far as like I've heard sex workers using platforms like I think PayPal and maybe I want to say Cash App, but I'm not 100% sure on Cash App, but PayPal for sure. Like if they find out that your transactions are regarding sex work, they'll take that money
like
back
revoke
from
it.
Yep, revoke it. You know.
What the hell? Like why? Like who gives them the right? Like
Exactly.
to say that this person cannot have money for doing something, like for providing a service. Like that's literally what they're doing.
That's what I was just talking to somebody. Like these women, it's their business, it's their job. That's what they're doing consensually doing for a living. It's not about anything else. You know what I'm saying? It's just about, it's not love for them, or it's a transaction. It's a business.
It's transactional. Yes, exactly. And again, going back to like the term that I used earlier that I said was a slur, like again, they're called sex workers, and I don't think people understand like what that means. Like they are doing this as work, like you mentioned. It's work. It's transactional. It's nothing to do with emotion, and they have a whole other life outside of however long you just spent with them. Like it has nothing. It has nothing to do with anyone besides the person that they're giving a service to or providing a service for. So I don't understand why there's an issue and why that it's seen as like a less than, like a lower tier job. I don't know. I guess I don't understand that.
Exactly.
And especially in terms of like I know people would say, oh, well, STIs and things like that, and you know they have diseases, and I just read an article about it was an Australian article and data in a poll or something like that, and they actually had lower STI rates than the general community, the general population, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Like, so these people know their health and they know
they're paying attention. Yeah,
exactly. I'm sure someone wouldn't just put themselves out there to get diseases and not monitor that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Especially because it's their work. They can't, if they get something that's incurable, they can't work that way anymore. You know what I'm saying? So
it changes it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like off topic, kind of on topic as far as like the stereotype. I seen, when people donate plasma, they ask like a whole bunch of questions. One of the questions I believe is like, have you had sex with a prostitute within like a certain amount of weeks? It says prostitute on there. Like, it doesn't say like sex worker or anything like that. Yeah, it's like crazy. So, and I'm like, can you put this question down? Like,
why,
is that okay?
Why does that matter? Like if we're going that far, like, have we just had sex in general? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that person's a sex worker or not. Like, I would be more concerned about having sex with just a hookup in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, to somebody I don't know, somebody I don't even know how to get a hold of again. You know what I'm saying? There's like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
It doesn't make sense at all. What a strange thing.
Yeah. It is very strange. That's true.
I don't know why I just looked at you like that.
Yeah.
I was just staring at you.
No, you're fine.
I mean, really, I know we got some questions from
a viewer. We have a question. Hi, Michelle. So yes, she has some questions.
Michelle has some questions for us regarding sex and our experiences and opinions, and I'm very excited to answer them.
Okay. She said, "How much do y'all have sex?" If you want to answer that.
Yeah, no, I'm super comfortable with that. I'm just thinking, I honestly, right now, my partner and I are both very busy people.
Yeah.
With everything that we do, I'd say once a week.
Okay. To me, that's kind of average. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I try not to even think about what's average or what's not, because like I will never know. And like if it's good with me and it's good with him, like that's fine. So right now once a week, and that's it. What about you? Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah. Yeah. No sex for me lately.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of, locking it in there. So,
that's good.
Yeah, that's me right now.
That's okay.
Okay. It's a lonely road.
Yeah. It's no competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she also said, what y'all be doing in there?
Oh, I love Michelle. Honestly, like I said, mostly foreplay.
Yeah, I was gonna say we kind of touched on it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Her question is, I'm sorry, parents, please don't be listening by this.
Or even coworkers.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, here we're open.
We're just gonna go.
We're
we're gonna go about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle. Here's the next question Michelle has. Do you suck dick? What's your tricks? So.
Yes, and I don't really have tricks.
Yeah.
It just. I don't know. I feel like some things are just pretty natural.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is, for me, one of them. I don't know. But I've been having this nose issue for a while, so I haven't been on my game for a minute. But I can't really breathe out of my nose right now. But I swear, once the surgery comes around, I'll be back on it. That's my answer to that.
I guess I'll answer that question too. Yeah, I do. Only trick, I guess, is a trick, or I don't know, a gift. I don't know what to call it. I don't have a gag reflex, really. That's all.
I do.
Yeah.
I can't even brush my teeth sometimes without sounding like I'm about to puke.
Okay. She says, also, she has another question. What do you like dick sucking wise? Do you like something in particular? I guess when receiving it, I guess is what she's asking.
I guess we can both answer this in terms of just like oral. No?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to. I'm not saying
No,
you
go
have
ahead.
to.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's anything that I like in particular. Like it just, I like when someone's good at it. Like when someone can
I don't
just kind of
love
knows. You don't love it? Okay. Do you not love it because like maybe it's not been, I'm not saying anyone you've been with isn't good at it, but like,
yeah,
you know,
maybe
it
it's
isn't what
not
you
for
like.
me. I don't know. I don't think I like it in general.
Oh, okay.
Because I've tried multiple people, and that's everybody's answer to me. Oh, you haven't found the right person. Oh, you haven't found the right person. And I'm like, well, how many mouths do I have to try? Because
sometimes you don't know till you know.
Well, yeah, that's true too. But so far, I mean, I don't love it. Like,
That's okay.
I'll receive it, I guess, but it's not like something like
it's not a top priority.
Yeah, it's not something that I have to have. And she asked, "Can you deep throat?" You kind of answered that question.
Yeah. I mean, I can, but listen, I'm gonna be super real right now.
Okay.
One time when I was at a hookup, I threw up on someone's couch.
Okay.
And that's all I need to say about that.
Okay.
Besides the fact that I was super embarrassed and I kind of laughed about it too. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So no, I can, but I don't love it.
Yeah. And yes, I can. What's your fantasy? Do you have a fantasy?
No. I mean, I don't know, I guess. Okay. I guess no.
Yeah.
Maybe I do, and I'm just not comfortable sharing that in this platform.
I do. We can start with mine.
Okay.
And it's kind of a double standard, so I'll throw that in there too. But you know how people have threesomes, and it's normally with 2 girls and a guy. I would like to have a threesome with 2 guys.
Okay.
You know, some people, you know, have that double standard of, oh, you're a whore, or getting a train ran on you,
it's not a
type
train.
of thing.
No, it's very. I feel like that's.
I feel like I don't know.
Why is that not allowed? Like,
I don't know.
Why should we shame
Like,
someone for that? Like that's no. I think that.
Yeah, I would love that, actually. But
it's good.
I would love that. Yeah, I would love that. That's a fantasy that I have. But yeah.
Yeah,
that's
good.
what I would like.
Good.
Do you have a favorite position or anything like that?
I like them all. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Mine's from the back. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Are you flexible?
No. God no. I swear I can't even like do a sit up without feeling I'm cracking in half.
I'm flexible with help, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That
so
makes
I need
sense.
a little help, but
No, not me. I'm like I feel like my like oxygen's cut off. I'm like bent the wrong way. Like it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are our viewers' questions.
Wait, go back to that one question. What did she say? What y'all do in there?
What y'all be doing in there?
God, I love it. Yeah, I feel like I would love some more of those.
More questions?
Yeah, not necessarily right now, but I'm saying in future episodes. And
yeah. If you guys have questions about anything in general, but yeah, these questions too, though.
Yeah, maybe
I liked answering
maybe
them.
we could start putting out like next week's episode will be around this, and like send us questions, and like maybe that would help. So if you like that idea, let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
If you don't know already, I mean, I don't know where you're listening to this at, but we're on YouTube. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I have not gotten us on Anchor yet.
Okay,
but
that's
it's
fine.
on my to-do list today.
It's
so,
coming.
What else are we on? We're on Podbean. That's like where we're like based out of, our host site or whatever. If you want us on a different platform, let us know. I'm trying to just make it super accessible. Hopefully you laugh with us, and hopefully you, I don't know, just enjoy our voices. And even if you don't,
I was told I have a really soothing voice. So.
I think you do.
Thank you.
And I haven't gotten any compliments, so if anyone wants to send me one, just go ahead and do it. Anything else you want to add, or anything else you want to hit on?
I don't have anything to add. Just my quote of the day.
Lovely quote.
Yeah. I guess this one's for Stephanie. So I don't know if Stephanie knows we started our podcast. So I'll have to let her know. Yes, because this one is for her. So this quote is by Elton John. And he says, "There's nothing wrong with going to bed with someone of your own sex. People should be very free with sex. They should draw the line at goats."
Yes.
Okay, that was for Stephanie.
Yeah, Stephanie loves goats. That's why it's for her.
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw a goat back in Florida a couple months ago, and I
Did you?
sent it to her. Yeah.
Oh.
I think I sent it to her. I hope I sent it to her.
You
Maybe I didn't.
check, maybe.
Shit. I don't know. Yeah, and one last thing before we go. Didn't see anyone tag us in terms of Chili's, and I'm a little upset about it.
Came at him.
Yeah, do we know what the special margarita is or whatever? I think we said that last time.
Yeah, we said we were going to check the special margaritas of the month because Charlie and I love Chili's. That's
Chili's sponsor us. Love your queso.
Yes, we love your queso. I like the white spinach queso. I know you like the original.
The skillet.
Yeah, I know
and
you
the
do.
just the salsa.
Yes. Let's see if we can find it. Because they usually have a margarita of the month. I'm sorry, I should have had this prepared, guys. Okay. It is... What is that? Like, they have it all blurry. Oh, God, guys. Sorry.
Maybe we'll hit them with it next time.
Yeah, we'll hit it with it the next time. Because they only have... What is this month? June. Oh. The Steak Rita. The 1800 Steak Rita. Yes, and it has 1800 tequila, fresh sour, coconut puree, pineapple juice, and grenadine.
All right, Chili's, you heard it. That was a beautiful advertisement from us, your favorite podcasters. Now get on it.
Exactly. Gift of Gab, MI.
All right. Yeah, like Ashley said, if you need to reach us by email, like you said, giftofgabmi at gmail.com. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. Maybe we'll make a Twitter. I'm really bad at keeping up with Twitter.
Me too.
It's just a lot.
Maybe
we won't then.
I feel like I don't follow it well at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Me neither. Maybe recommend us to your friends. I don't know. Whatever you do.
Yeah, we appreciate the support, spreading the love, letting us know.
Right. Maybe getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. We're going to be looking into getting some merch soon and doing some cool events soon. So, let us know where you want to see us and things you want from us, and we will be happy to do them.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Thank you for listening. It's
been fun. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.